And it's sad when anyone dies. And when a celebrity dies, people on the internet like to be like performative in how sad they are. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
And I've seen that very, very close with Trevor, but tons of people, right? And when they're old, when Mel Brooks passes, he'll probably be over 100 or close to it, right? People are like, oh, it's so sad. It's like, well, that's not sad. Like when Betty White died, that's not sad. When Bob Hope died, Bob Newhart, these people that get up into their 90s and die, they fucking nailed life. You know what I mean? Like
it's like it's sad, but it's not like when like a baby dies, you know?
No, or like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a baby dies, that's super duper tragic, obviously.
It's sad as shit because they had no opportunity to do anything. These people like lived a fucking century.
Yeah. And did things to enrich your life personally. So don't weep for them. You know, they like you from a very young age, you understand that one day you're going to die. And so then you live your life knowing that, and that's one thing that makes life so fucking weird. But like you know, and so they know that, but you think, I mean, like when Carl Reiner, Rob's dad, when he passed away, he was very, very old, I forget, you think he wasn't in his last moments be like, man, I did pretty good at this. Right? I mean, like, if I get to old age, I'll feel good about stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Unless my daughter turns into a murdering book fan, but, you know.
Oh my God. Would you still support your daughter if you found out she was a serial killer?
No. Obviously, the evidence would have to be there. But I'd be like, yeah, I don't know where I went wrong, but yeah, that sucks. I guess she has to go to prison. You know?
Yeah, would you blame yourself? I always find it very, very intriguing.
I blame myself when people I don't know stub their toe. You know what I mean? I blame myself for fucking everything. So, and that's part of my mental issues, you know? You know what I mean?
I was talking to my roommate that lives above me. She was like, oh, what are you doing while she's cooking? I'm like, I'm watching Misery. She's like, oh my God, that movie freaked me out.
Yeah.
That movie's so scary. And I'm like, yeah, it is a horror movie. It's totally a fucking horror movie. It's terrifying.
So yeah.
Like stuff that can really, really happen to you is the scariest.
Definitely.
Scary.
And it's funny when people who don't watch horror movies all the time, I can't watch horror movies. I'll get scared. What the fuck do you think I'm doing? It's not that I don't get scared. I like it. You know?
It's exhilarating. I was going to tell you.
What?
I'm your number one fan.
Oh. Oh, no. Well, this is going to be... Well, first of all, I'll just say the name of the show, because we'll get into it right away, because there's so much... The way this ties into our lives is great. So anyways, welcome to Earnful of Popcorn. My name is Timmy Wilkes.
And this is Shandi Silks, Timmy Wilkes' number one fan.
You should be Shandi Sheldon.
Shandi Sheldon.
That's his last name. And it works out. Shandi Sheldon. It rolls off the tongue.
Shandi Sheldon. That's good. I like that.
There's probably been times where we've both been psychos about each other, so it works out. But yeah, it's a really, really, really tragic and sad reason. But today we're talking about Misery, the movie, not just our lives. But I gotta stop doing that noise thing. Okay, I had a pops. You know those things kids like that are like the rubber versions of bubble wrap. You know.
The rubber versions?
Well, here, get on video for a second. You'll know exactly.
I can't.
But just look at my video.
Okay, let me see.
Look at my video. These. You know these things?
Rubber.
Yeah, see
and
that?
And then they just like pop in and out?
Yeah. And it's like an anxiety thing, but also for, it's kind of
like a fidget thing?
It's a fidget thingy. And like there's this one that, I don't even know where I got it, but I do it all the time. And then there's like a big one that I have that's like... Margaret found me somewhere. It's like the bat symbol, but it's all those little rubber things, and it's good.
It's got a good sound to it.
Yeah, the whole thing is designed for, tactile, and I'm sure aural, not, but like ears, So. I don't even know how you. Whatever. It's so hard. It's so hard being dumb. We already got off track. Like last night, I was texting you ideas, and I'm like, because editing, you notice things about people, and I was talking about people that start a sentence and then start the sentence over in the middle of the sentence, making it different. And I just did that, but I didn't really do that. I just completely abandoned whatever the fuck I was saying to talk about the fidget spin, the poppy boppy bubbles. Yesterday when I was texting about like, well, we should do this and this and this and not do this. It's the same shit I always say, basically, which is the more we just make it about talking and not trying to have a cool point Olympics, the better it is always. You know what I mean?
Cool point Olympics.
You know exactly what I mean though, right? Although good point, but check this out, yo. Check out my brain, And everybody does that sometimes, but it's good to be cognizant of that and avoid it. Okay, so today we're talking about Misery. This is for a sad reason, because Misery is the only even close to horror-ish movie that Rob Reiner directed. And so obviously a month ago, as most people know, Rob Reiner was murdered, probably by his son, who had probably unaddressed mental issues, is kind of what it's sounding like from the news, right?
Yeah, it sounded like he went into the house while they were asleep and stabbed them both as they were...
That's just awful.
Asleep. Yeah. Really fucked up.
And he was not that old. He was older. He was 78, but still, there's plenty of Hollywood people, especially, still working well into their 80s. So there doesn't need to be a certain number you hit to make your death sad anyways, or not sad, whatever. It's horrible what happened to him. But so we wanted to do something about that because, Misery, to me, counts enough as a horror movie. I think it often gets called a psychological thriller, but it was made in the time when horror was still a dirty word, so.
Yeah, no, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. And the book by Stephen King is legit horror. It's way more gory and, kind of gets into things more because obviously a book can, because there's just more time and, hundreds of pages. But, so Rob Reiner's run here is, because, yes, his death is tragic, but, man, did he ever leave a fucking legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this run, okay? 1984, this is Spinal Tap. 85, The Sure Thing. 86, Stand By Me. 87, The Princess Bride. 89, When Harry Met Sally. 1990, Misery. 1992, A Few Good Men. So there's only one movie in there that I don't know about. You know what I mean? The Sure Thing, which is funny. The movie called The Sure Thing is the one that didn't.
That isn't a sure thing.
But everything else is like, holy shit, whoa, right?
Wow. Like iconic scenes in a lot of those, and all of those movies.
Yeah, so we're talking about Misery.
Misery.
You're not going to believe this, everybody, but it's a Stephen King story about a writer. And
you're not going to believe
and addiction is not really part of it, although in the book, he does kind of get addicted to those pills. So, because there's, like I said, there's more time to kind of get into different things there. So, but as an adaptation, what I've read is that most Stephen King fans consider this one to be pretty close to the book. And I have to say, yes, I agree. Okay. There's some, the changes are big, but not big. For example, in the book, she cuts off his foot with an axe.
Whoa.
And then cuts off his thumb.
Whoa.
And while that is terrifying to think of not having that anymore, the hobbling thing is so fucked up. And like, in a way, just worse. Like, shattering the bones inside your foot and watching it flop like that. I know, right? Like, I've seen this movie several times, and like I said, read the book, and still I'm like, it's crazy.
It still gives me chills. Like,
yeah.
And I love that in the movie you don't see both happen. You don't need to see both happen. You just that one visceral moment, and just her fucking deadpan explaining.
Yeah.
Makes it that I'm getting chills now thinking about it.
It's just crazy. And this story, it's a simple story. a famous writer is in Colorado writing. Yeah. By the way, you're not going to believe this, everybody, but this is a Stephen King story about a writer possibly involving addiction, and he gets stuck in a building in the snow in Colorado. So it's like, he just loves this shit. He loves it. And like I said, I'm reading The Shining right now, so it's like, oh, okay. But then earlier this year, or late last year, I watched The Dark Half, also based on a Stephen King novel, also about a writer, also an alcoholic.
Where does he live? Do you know where Stephen King lives?
Maine.
So he lives in a cabin in the woods?
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually, he lives in a mansion with like cool wrought iron fencing and stuff. It's cool. Yeah, his house is like known. I forget which town he's in Maine. But so, and that's an interesting thing in this. So he, and I believe he visited Colorado. That's why some of his books are in Colorado, but tons of his books are in Maine. Even The Stand, which is post-apocalyptic, starts in Maine with some characters, and also Colorado features heavily into it as well, and so does Vegas. But yeah, so he just knows what he likes. But here's one interesting thing about Misery. So the town this takes place in is Silver Creek, Colorado, which is a real place. Okay, in the book, it takes place in Sidewinder, Colorado, which is not a real place, but Stephen King uses it in other stuff. It's in The Shining. It's the town closest to the Overlook Hotel in The Shining.
That's such a cool name, Sidewinder.
Yeah, and he does that, like Derry, Maine, of course, is where it takes place, but there's other ones there. Castle Rock, there's several. And so he has his little Stephen King universe, and if you've read The Dark Tower, you know that he kind of, not all of his books, but a lot of his books are actually part of the Dark Tower universe, and it's very strange.
Oh yeah, you were saying that last night when we were talking about insomnia, and I guess I need to read Dark Tower stuff now too.
Right, well, because there's a guy called the Crimson King in Insomnia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like one of the bad guys in the Dark Tower.
I gotta reread that too, Insomnia, man. That book is fucking massive.
Oh yeah, Stephen King, man. Like, I bet even Misery is probably pretty long, even though I don't remember it. I read it pretty quickly, but I bet it is like long. Let's see. Yeah, 300 pages. Okay, so no, it's not long. That's pretty average, maybe even on the smaller side for a novel. No, for a novel, that's about right, 300 pages. But so many Stephen Kings are door stoppers, as people say, you know? It, The Stand, Insomnia, Under the Dome. I think most of those are over 1,000 pages. The only one I'm not sure of would be Insomnia, but I bet it's like still really
you could like long. Knock somebody out with one of those fucking things.
Most of his books you could. Well, and that's 787 pages. Okay, yeah, that's pretty darn long.
Fuck.
But so Misery is about this famous writer in the woods who is famous for writing this series of what kind of became romance novels, Misery. At least that's what it seems like, they're romance novels. That's what the covers look like in the movie. And he's kind of sick of it. And he is about to release the last one that kills off Misery. And he's writing his next book, which is not about that, because he feels very beholden to having to write all these Misery books. And it's kind of like, he doesn't feel like he's artistically satisfied anymore, right? You kind of get all that just from the brief flashback they show of him talking to his agent, right?
Yeah, he says something great where he goes, I feel like I'm going to write this fucking shit forever if I don't stop.
Yeah. And if I don't stop now, I'll be doing Misery forever, basically.
Oh, and you used a good word, beholden.
Mm-hmm. That's beholden to misery. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So he's trying to turn this chapter in his life, and then he gets in a car accident and wakes up in bed at this woman's house, and it turns out she is a big fan of his, #1 fan.
When she smiles, when she talks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm your #1 fan.
Yeah.
Oh, her face is so good in this.
Yeah. So, and she's this nurse who takes care of him because he gets very injured in the car accident, but then, of course...
Oh, his legs are fucking gnarly.
Yeah, they are. So... and so that's most of the movie is him being trapped in this house. And in the book, he kind of resists it immediately. In the movie, it takes him a couple days to realize what the fuck's going on.
That's what makes it scary to me, is because you go, oh, thank God she was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously she explains why she was there, that she was fucking stalking his ass. But, oh, thank God she was there. Thank God she's a nurse, so she knows how to take care of him and help him recover. And she seems so fucking nice. She reminds me of like a nun. She's got a little cross on, the way that she dresses.
She doesn't like swearing.
Her hair looks really nice. She fucking hates
swearing. She would hate this podcast. She would not.
God,
she would
hate us. Fucking murder me immediately.
No, she'd draw it out, obviously.
I'd be in the basement, though. She wouldn't let me be in the nice room.
Right. You'd be tied up in the gross, moldy basement. Shandi, we got to talk about your mouth. It's really a problem. It's like, fuck is every other word. It's so oogie.
Oh, she loves that word oogie.
It's not a word. I think she makes it up. I don't think it's a word.
But not reading the book and watching this, I go, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness that she was there. In the nick of time, I mean, because the buildup of her being so nice and so accommodating and taking care of him, like, she's being the nurse of your dreams.
Yeah.
And then she becomes the nurse of your fucking nightmare.
Right, yeah. But you're right. Nurse of your dreams, everything except like an HJ. She does everything else, you know? So, and I feel like there's parts where she thought about it.
She's dealing with his piss and his shit.
Yeah, I love that scene where
I do too.
she's like standing at the window, getting kind of personal with him, telling him this heartfelt story about her last husband and all this stuff. And he's listening and looks like he's intently listening. And then he raises up the whatever you call it, the jar you pee in when you're in a hospital bed. And he's like, I'm full. And then she grabs it and starts like monologuing and telling him about something. I forget what it was, and waving it around. And the lid is open, so there could be pee flying everywhere. It's so funny. Okay. And there's a dark humor throughout the whole movie. And, you know, Rob Reiner, he, you know, got famous on a sitcom. His dad's one of the most important comedy writers of all time, Carl Reiner. And then he made Spinal Tap and Princess Bride, Harry Met Sally before this. So he's, you know, he knows how to be funny, you know. And
yeah.
She reads his new novel that he's been working on and doesn't like it, says there's too much swearing in it. And he's like, well, it's more about my life and how I grew up, and that's how we talk.
Oh, what? When she loses her shit on him about cussing, I forget some of the curse words that
her made up ones?
Yeah, her made up curse words.
Yeah. I forget them all. I should have written them down because they're crazy. She says oogie. She says cock-a-doodie.
The cock-a-doodie.
Cock-a-doodie and dirty bird.
I think she says cock-a-poopy, too.
Yeah, she says poopy a few times, maybe cock-a-poopy, yeah. So, and here's what I think about the fake swearing, okay? So when you swear, like, so for example, yes, we both swear quite a bit on the podcast. You swear more than me. And in either case, when you say, yeah, fucking this, fucking that, you're not really thinking about it. That's just how you talk.
I'm not being malicious in my curse word.
That has nothing. No, we're not talking about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about your thinking process, not your emotions, right? I'm talking about when you say like, oh yeah, I fucking love this, I fucking love that, which you say that and it's fine. But are you thinking about it? You know, do you intend to say fucking? Probably not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's more of just a natural way that I speak. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about malicious. Like, I know you're not being malicious when you say I fucking love that because you said you love it. And when I do that too, you know, being someone in writing and comedy, I know when a swear word can be powerful and useful, but I also swear too much. And anytime where I feel like I've sworn when I didn't need to is subconscious. I probably didn't do it. My parents saw me on stage. They're like, you're funny, but you do say fucking too much. I'm like, you know what? I do that when I'm like, it's like my doggy paddle in the water where I'm like trying to figure out what to do next. So I just do that. You know what I mean? And so when you are someone like Annie Wilkes who decides you're not going to swear, so now you're putting thought into these other weird fucking words you're saying instead. And so she's giving thought to every single instance, right?
Yeah.
And it's all in service of this delusion that she's this like sweet, innocent woman. And so to me, it's very fucking creepy.
Yeah, she gets so worked up, knocked over the tomato soup. It's terrifying. I mean, it's just like, have you ever had a friend or been in a relationship with somebody like that where they're like, everything's fine, and then say you tipped something over or accidentally broke something, and then they just go from 0 to 100?
Do you really need to ask me that?
I guess not.
You know, that's exactly what I was in.
Fucking scary.
But you have, yes, as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
You have to walk on fucking eggshells.
Yeah.
Because you also don't know if it's going to turn violent.
Yeah.
All of a sudden being like, la la la, oh, we're having such a great time. What the fuck did you just do?
Yeah.
it's scary.
Yeah, and you don't know if it's going to turn physical. You don't even always know what's going to set them off and what won't. And that's why you're always walking on eggshells. Because, and sometimes the shit changes. Like, something that made them mad yesterday will not make them mad tomorrow. And you don't fucking know, It sucks.
And he thought he was just explaining why he had cuss words in there. Mm-hmm. But she went into a full-on fucking rage fit.
For sure. Yeah. A full-on fudging rage fit, let's say.
But then she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah. That makes it even worse.
Yeah. So Annie is often very, very nice. And then also she kind of fangirls out on him sometimes, especially once he lets her read his stuff. She's like, oh my God, And so some of that is just her being a crazy person and a fan. Some of that I feel like is part of her evil manipulative side. Mm-hmm. Like when they're at dinner, and this is much later, but there's even instances before that where he's kind of being charismatic to her. Almost once he realizes how fucked he is, he starts kind of being nice to her and charismatic.
Yeah, he placates her.
Yeah, placates a good word, and flirty even a little bit, and so she appears to buy into it. So I was thinking sometimes I'm sure she is buying into it, but other times I wonder if she's also playing him. You know what I mean? Because she could be. She's obviously very calculating and, obviously fucking pure evil, You
know what? I bet you're fucking right, because when she has the rain day that gives her the blues.
Yes.
And she says, I love you, Paul, but I know you don't love me and don't even say it.
Yeah.
You're totally fucking right. She's that manipulative and maniacal and smart. She probably is playing his ass.
Yeah, sometimes. I think sometimes it's also real, though, because she is a fan,
Even creepier.
Yeah, totally, because you don't know. Well, and that's kind of what we were just saying with being in an abusive relationship, is you don't know exactly when the page is going to turn. It's 0 or 100. There's no 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're either totally evil or super duper nice and wonderful. And that's how she is, and it kind of flips back and forth, and sometimes in the movie flips back and forth pretty quickly,
Yeah.
And the reason it all works is because, like Shandi said, the acting is very, very good. Kathy Bates plays Annie, and this was her first big role. She'd been acting in plays and little bit parts of movies for about 15 years before this, but after this, she won an Oscar for this, which she deserved because she's amazing in this movie.
Fuck yeah, man. Holy shit.
And everybody else in this was already a legend, and this made her a legend, which is kind of awesome,
Mm-hmm. I love the sheriff and his deputy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love their relationship. It's so sweet.
It's so great and sweet, and the lady's kind of horny. I love that. They're in, because he starts kind of, they know that it's the sheriff of the county, obviously, where this is all taking place, and so he knows, he gets a call from the agent, from Paul Sheldon, James Caan's literary agent, who's played by Lauren Bacall. Anyway, so that's a bunch of old school Hollywood legends. But anyway, so he kind of starts figuring out, this guy's missing. So he's out and about. Well, it's just a little tiny town, right? And I love the first scene you see. He's in the sheriff's office, gets a phone call, and his wife, who's his deputy, walks in, and she's like, "Oh, a phone call." It's okay, so nothing ever happens here. But yes, they have a very sweet, funny relationship. And so they're out in the sheriff's van, his little kind of 4x4 truck thing, driving around looking for Paul Sheldon at some point. And his wife's driving, and she puts her hand on his thigh.
Spicy. Yeah,
and when I've been in relationships with somebody and driving with them, I always do that too, Because it's oh no, it's been 5 minutes since I felt them up, so you gotta, what's gonna happen if I don't do that? But anyways, and so he's like, when we're in this car, I told you. And I love that he's like, I told you, which means she does this all the time, right? He's
and he constantly, they have had this conversation many, many, many times.
He's like, I told you, when we're in this vehicle, you're my deputy. And then do you remember what she says? It's such a good response.
You say I'd rather be in our warm bed.
Well, this deputy would rather be home under the covers with the sheriff.
Yeah.
I love that she's a horny old lady. Yeah, that's great. Well, the last time on with Pin, we talked about like letting kids be horny, little girls be horny. And like, yeah, let the old ladies too. And then and she's like, they're always sassing each other. He's like, that spice is what keeps me going for you. Like I love it. They have a fantastic relationship, which makes the fact that he dies very, very, very sad.
It makes me. I hadn't seen this in probably 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot a shit ton about this movie. I forgot about the pig.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about just how awful it is when he gets shot. Yeah. I gasped out loud and held back a little tear because he's just so sweet, and he was really, really trying to figure out what happened to Paul.
Yeah. I always love it in a movie when they work in some interesting detective work. And when they're out looking for him, he's very close to where Paul's car is, lying in a dish covered in snow. And there's a broken tree, and he's like, this is not broken from the wind or something. Because, up in the mountains like that, you get some strong winds that can do that. But he's like, I don't think this is it. And then his wife, like, distracts him or something, and he doesn't keep looking and goes back to the car. It's like, oh. But then, they eventually declare Paul Sheldon dead. And he just has this, he can't shake his detective feeling that the guy's not dead. And since he can't do anything else about it, he starts reading his books and gets into them.
I love that she goes like, why are you reading his books? And he's like, well, if we can't find him, I want to find out what he writes about.
Yeah.
So smart.
Yeah, yeah. And the fact that he's doing that leads him to solving the mystery. But unfortunately, she's too devious and kills him right after he figures it out. But another reason why that character makes me sad is because it's Richard Farnsworth, whose eyes are amazing. And so Farnsworth had been around for a long, long, long time. But about 10 years after this, he got his second Oscar nomination for Best Actor for The Straight Story, which is the David Lynch film that doesn't fit in with the rest of the David Lynch films. That's the one about the guy that rides his lawnmower across Iowa.
That movie is fucking amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw it for the first time last year. Holy crap. It was so good.
And his eyes are so sad in that movie. Mm-hmm. You just instantly don't want to see anything bad happen to him.
No.
And you like him, and you know that he cares, which is cool.
And he loves his wife, his spicy old wife.
His spicy little wife.
His spicy deputy.
Yeah. It's too bad. But, and that's pretty much it. And those are like kind of the only four characters in it. His agent is in it a little bit. And like I said, that was played by another big legendary person, Lauren Bacall. But it's pretty simple. And then you just watch Paul try and get out of this situation. Because the moment where she yells at him for swearing, that's when he's like, oh, this lady's fucking insane.
Yeah.
This lady's fudging insane.
I don't think I'm safe here. And I can't really do anything about it because I can't fucking walk.
Right. And, and she reveals to him, like, oh, I followed you because I knew you were staying here. Like I said, I'm your number one fan. And I was just sitting there. She would sit in her car outside his hotel, looking up at his room, being like, oh, I wonder what he's writing,
Oh my
and
God.
So that's
Stalker.
Why, yeah, totally. And then that's why as soon as he gets in his accident, she saves him. And let's talk about, so when she saves him, she like, at least in the movie, and I'm pretty sure it was like this in the book, she like fireman carries him, right? And she's like him
over her shoulder.
Yeah. And in the book, she's written this way. I think in the book, she's actually kind of written as more obese, but also very strong, right? And I don't know if Kathy Bates is tall. I should look that up because, like, even if she's not, though, the way she's shot in this movie is they make her feel strong and intimidating.
Yeah, there's all those really great shots kind of at an angle from below that are really great, where the camera will be a little bit far away, but then it'll come up really close, but at an angle from below. I love those shots.
Yeah, those shots are awesome. And they need those shots because I just looked it up and Kathy Bates is 5'3".
Dang, she's tiny.
Yeah. Because I've seen her in person once at something. I forget something I did in LA somewhere, but I didn't remember. And but yeah, that's very short. A lot of celebrities are short, but like, yeah, like but they make her seem like this big, looming, intimidating presence. So yeah, they do a good job with that. And like you said, a lot of those angles from a little bit below her pointed up makes her look like she's looming over you, even though she's not much taller than my daughter.
She's a monster.
Yeah, exactly. And, I read the book before I saw the movie, but of course I knew about her. So, like, I pictured her in the book when I read it, and it makes perfect sense anyways, So she just really kind of is that. But yeah, so once he realizes that he's screwed and that he's trapped here, he immediately starts trying to figure out something. And she's been giving him these pills. I forget what they are, but they're obviously some kind of painkiller or something,
They're Norville?
Yeah, and I think that's a real thing.
Norville. I said Norville? Like novel? And then right below that comment, I wrote stupid.
Oh, but your own idea was stupid? But you might be right. Let me see. Novril. Yeah, Novril. It's fictional.
Ah, okay.
And that's very Stephen King. So your novel thing is probably not totally stupid. You know what I mean? He's cute like that. You know what I mean? He likes to be cute sometimes. So I think that's what's going on there. But sounds
like the pill that would be in Body Melt.
Totally. What is that? God, what is that company called again? I can't remember.
That long
Vimuville?
Vimuville.
It's good for your body. God, that movie rules. Anyways, but yeah, so once she yells at him and spills some soup on him, which, obviously it's tomato soup, so it has a slight resemblance to a pool of blood, and I think it's the scariest soup has ever been in a movie, right? So good job, soup. But that's when he's like, "Oh, is this bitch crazy?" And actually, that phrase I want to point out the screenwriter William Goldman. By the way, this movie's stacked up front, but also stacked behind the camera. William Goldman's major writer. He worked with Rob Reiner. He also wrote Princess Bride and some other stuff. But anyways, so kudos to William Goldman, because if I wrote this movie, I would have James Caan's character constantly being like, "Man, this crazy bitch." And I think he does say it, but only once. But if I wrote it, he'd be saying it every 2 minutes. Like, she is this fucking crazy ass bitch. Oh my God.
The fuck is wrong with this bitch?
Yeah,
what
totally.
did I do to deserve this bitch?
And so she doesn't like his manuscript.
Oh, no, she does not.
But then, his new Misery novel is coming out. It's hitting stores as this accident happens, and that's the one where he's trying to get past Misery. So that book ends with Misery dying. And so she's like, the first one in line, I got it. And she comes back, and he's still, of course, trapped in the bed, and tells him about it and reading it. And oh man, and you just know, because you've only seen it mentioned very briefly in the beginning during he's in the accident, he's laying there in the snow, and he had flashbacks of talking to his agent. And that's when he says, "I'm going to kill off Misery." That's all you really hear about it. But that's enough. And then after seeing her get mad about the swearing in his other book, that it's coming. That as soon as she gets to the end, she's going to fucking flip out.
Yeah.
And she does. Man. And that's when she yells at him for killing off Misery, that is a lot of the fake swearing, cock-a-doodie and all that. And it's so terrifying. It's so much more terrifying than if she was like, "You fucking cocksucker son of a bitch," like all the words those are supposed to be. It is so much, like I said, because you're putting this weird thought into it, it's so much scarier, So, ooh.
Her freaking out about that character, being killed off, reminded me sometimes of, two things. Reminded me of, your favorite football team not winning and, how irate she got. Mm-hmm. Or, if you watch a television series and, your favorite character gets killed off. I wouldn't take it to this level, though. It's upsetting.
Right.
But I don't think I'd be as extreme.
Right.
She gets, it's another one of those cool shots, too, where it zooms in real close on her from that angle when she's screaming into the camera. It's so good.
Yeah. And, like we said, they do a good job making her scary. Because, when you elevator pitch this book or movie to somebody, it probably doesn't sound scary. Like, oh, this novelist gets trapped by one of his crazy fans. You know, but it is scary, you know, and so. And we're going to talk about all that. I'm just kind of trying to set up like the rest of the movie is basically what happens right here. So she is super pissed about him killing Misery. And
how could you? How could you?
He's like, you killed her. He's like, no, she died in childbirth. It happened all the time. And she's just like, no, my God, you murdered her and all this shit. And she picks up like a table, a little like end table thing, or one of those little tables they put it's one of those tables you only get when you're like in your house too long and start buying weird shit. Like a table is a hold on that you just set a flower vase on is what the table exists for. So she picks that up like, you think she's going to hit him with it, and she just smashes it against the wall. And that's another moment where they really solidify, like, this is like a fucking elephant. You know, like this woman is a buffalo, you know, like she's going to fuck you up, you know? And they do that in the book too. And so then after that, he's like, what the fuck is happening? And leading up to that too, she keeps saying that the phones are down, that you can't get anywhere, and then she just starts letting all that slip. Like, I bought your book. He's like, oh, so you could get to town. Yeah, and then I talked to your agent, and he doesn't even mention that one. She's like, she talked to my agent, you know? And it's all these clues that she's keeping him against her will. And then, then she kind of, the shoe drops once she gets mad at him for killing off Misery. Then she comes back the next morning with the manuscript for his novel, this other novel, the one with the swearing in it, makes him burn it with her and watch it. And then she reveals to him her grand plan, which is that she's going to make him write a new Misery novel and bring Misery back to life. And so that's what happens to the rest of the movie. And obviously he's trying to escape. Richard Farnsworth, the sheriff, is trying to find him. And you just see Annie kind of avoid detection for a long time. And so that's the whole movie. So I wanted to do that so that we can meander into some of the things we want to talk about, because you and I both have an interesting tack on this that a lot of podcasts probably don't when they talk about this movie. Because yes, podcasts can get popular and you can become a celebrity, but you and I have both been called that in our lives way before this. Whether or not we agree with it, I'm sure I've mentioned my theory on that before, which me and Trevor used to tell fans, if a fan would say like, oh, I've never met a celebrity before, we'd say, I'm not a celebrity. I stopped saying that because that's emotionally dishonest. You're telling someone not to trust their own emotions. So feeling someone is important to you as an emotion. And so if someone thinks I'm a celebrity, who am I to tell them otherwise? If they look up to me and think I'm a big deal, that's their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That has nothing really to do with what I'm doing. Yeah.
Do I think I'm a celebrity? No, I have a job. I live in South Dakota. You know what I mean? But like,
being a celebrity isn't your job.
Right.
It's not making you money.
Right, exactly. And you were on a very popular television show, America's Next Top Model. So you had a bunch of fans. I have Whitest Kids fans. And so in both cases, we've dealt with fans. And have you ever had a fan that scared you or made you feel uncomfortable or just came off as like a total psychopath?
I don't know if you remember this. When I was working at that spa down in Soho,
okay,
there was somebody that was calling my job and being very fucking creepy on the phone. It was a guy. And it happened for a couple of weeks, and it would just be random. But somehow knew when I would be at work, would call and ask for me. And so I would go, sometimes I'd be running around the spa, getting things set up for when the next round of clients were going to come in.
Your job there was like jack of all trades. You kind of helped run shit there. You didn't cut hair, but you did everything else.
Yeah, I was a front desk person, so I made appointments and dealt with the clientele. Like, our clientele was like Julia Roberts.
Right.
So if that says anything, it was a very private spa just for women. So somehow this person knew when I would be at work and would call and ask for me. And so I don't think I ever answered the phone when they called. Maybe once I did, but I'd get on there and be like, yeah, hey, this is Shandi. How can I help you? And be like, I know where you live. I know where you work.
They would say that to you?
Yeah. And like, I saw you on that show. You're a fucking slut. You're a cheating bitch whore.
Oh my God.
You know, and just say the nastiest, shittiest fucking crap. And it would scare me because I go, one, how do they know where I fucking work? How do they know when I'm at work? are they going to be outside waiting for me when I get off work? Like whenever I would get those calls, I would be scared to leave work. Are they following me home? Do they know where I fucking live? Thankfully they stopped. It only lasted for a couple of weeks, but it was really scary because what can I do about that?
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell the cops that somebody's giving you unsolicited phone calls, but not unless they've done something to me. Right. Are they going to fucking do anything?
So it was all only on the phone. They never showed up in person. You did not meet this person in person. Okay.
Gosh, no.
It should be some sort of crime. Well, it is a crime. I mean, they were harassing you, but it's a crime that's very hard to catch them.
It's harassment. Yeah. I mean, thankfully they didn't have the gall or the nerve or the drive to take it any further and actually show up at, because this was back in the day when like people had cell phones, but they were like flip phones and stuff. So they were, who knows if they were calling from the payphone down the block and just waiting for me to leave. I mean, shit, I listen to Forensic Files and all of those true crime podcasts. That shit happens.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, follow your ass home, get in your house, wait for you in the closet, and fucking murder you.
Yeah. Well, this person probably didn't try to meet you in person because, you and I were spending a lot of time together at that point, and they probably saw me walk into your salon once in a while and be like, dude, I don't want to mess with that guy.
Yeah. No,
right? Because I'm really fucking
terrified.
I'm like 5'8" and I was just a little round
and
fat guy.
And your green Converse Chucks and
my
your
green Chucks
your
and my
sweater.
Yep, my cardigan sweater that I would always wear, and I'm sure I looked real fucking threatening. Yeah, you can take someone who's like shorter and chubbier and dress them up very innocently and still make them look evil, like with Annie Wilkes, to make her look very terrifying with Kathy Bates. But me, you can't do that with. I'm always just going to look like I'm a little boy, like I'm like if Chucky never turned evil, just I'm just a little Cupid doll. But you're laughing because you know how true it is. That's probably how you've thought of me all these years. But hey, by the way, totally off base, but so tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day, okay? 2026, right? Now, on Martin Luther King Day in 2006, I was hanging out with Brett Gelman, who's people now know from Stranger Things, and he took me to pianos to Karaoke Killed the Cat, and I met a bunch of people that night, including you. So tomorrow, technically, is the 20th anniversary of us meeting. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I just thought of that.
I was such a little whore bag. I dated you. I dated
Yeah, but I don't even know if you and I ever, and we've hinted at this a million times on the show, so it's fine. And my brother told me he can tell that we used to sleep with each other just by the way we talk to each other. So
me and Timmy have had the sex.
Oh, yeah. It was good. It was good. Anyways, but I don't think we ever really even labeled it. Did you just say meh?
No,
I thought you went, eh.
No, I didn't say meh.
Yo, even if you did, it's okay, because I've had sex successfully since then.
Can you imagine? You're like, yeah, it was great. And I go, meh. What a dick.
Oh, man. But anyways, yeah. But the thing is I don't think you and I ever really labeled it. God. So it's like, whatever. It was a thing. Man. It happened. But no, it's okay. I wouldn't say you were a whore bag because you were so careful funny. You were careful to not make things too serious, and even though me being very, 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 very naive about women and stuff then, still am, like I didn't always know, but so you helped me figure that out, like, no, it's like, you can have like dalliances, you know what I mean? And then you can like be more serious about it. And I think all this kind of stuff can tie into the movie because this is someone who doesn't fucking get it. This is someone who can't pick up on signals. You know what I mean?
Oh, were you going to tell did you have a crazy fan story that you wanted to tell? Should we do that? Or do you
Yeah, we could go into it. And we just started talking about how we used to fuck, which is fine. But whatever. I don't care. Do you? No, I mean,
it happened.
It did happen a bunch, and it was good. It was a fun time. But, and then we kind of went our separate ways. And there was a while there where I kind of wasn't allowed to be friends with you, if I'm being honest. But
so me and Timmy were inside one of each other.
Well, you didn't get inside me, did you? Oh, maybe you might have put a finger in my ass. I'm okay with that. So you might have, but I doubt it.
That'd be the start of the episode.
But listen, listeners. I've been up in them guts. Okay.
I'm fucking crying. Oh,
I almost mentioned this last time because I just remember certain things. And my memory used to be like a steel trap for everything, but I still remember stuff. So
that happens sometimes to me too.
Well, I just remember stuff because it's weird like this. Okay. So I almost brought this up last episode with Jordan because I mentioned that Jordan and I and you were at pianos very late one time talking about Batman. Oh, you weren't. You were sitting there, happened to have a Batman mask on that we had.
I think there's a photo of that somewhere.
Yes, there is a photo of you in your cool blue coat wearing the Batman mask. Right? So you sat with me and Jordan late into the evening just listening to us talk about Batman. Okay, and then our friend Mike was with us too. And so that night, me and you and Mike went to my house, and Mike passed out on the couch, and you and I did not sleep. So that's when all that happened. So I almost brought up then. I'm like, that's funny that it's just kind of, what it is. But anyways, and it was a thing where I sometimes thought it was serious when it wasn't because we never talked about it. And I'm so naive and from this little tiny innocent place that I'm like, I guess part of my head was like, well, you sleep with someone, then no, there's nothing. But I thought maybe there, you know what I mean? Is like, people, and it was a good lesson for me. I'm not saying you like destroyed me or anything. Obviously, we're still friends, but like, learning that, like, hey, man, like, there's different levels and you need to, like, talk about it. You can't make any assumptions,
Yeah, it was a lesson for me, too, because, like you just said, we didn't talk about it. And it's like, I should have been like, hey, how are you feeling about all this? Because this is where I'm coming from. Right. So at least you would have had the choice to be like, you know what? I'm kind of looking for something a little more serious. Or you would have been like, oh, that's fine. Or you would have said, yeah, you know what? Maybe let's just be friends.
Yeah.
And so it was a lesson for me too, because that taught me that I need to be more vocal about how I'm feeling and to let the other person at least make up their own mind what they want to do. And if they don't want to continue what we're doing, I got to be okay with that. It's going to suck, but I got to be okay with that because
you got to respect what they
want.
want.
About that. Yeah. And I care about that person. So
yeah, that's good.
Lessons for everyone.
Absolutely, man. And, ever since then, I haven't been in a ton of things since then, but I have always, the definition thing has always been, hey, I think we're this now, that kind of thing. So, and that's good. Yeah.
Look at us growing though.
I know. And it's funny. I was just going to say, like, that's something that we probably could have talked about different times in our friendship, but like, we didn't need to. I mean, we're fine. You and I are tight friends, We're the thing where it's so funny, like, I brought this up. Sometimes when we are done recording, you'll say, bye, love you, or whatever, right? We say that because we're friends, we love each other like that, right?
Yeah.
So people don't always understand that in different parts of the world. And my boss, was like, I love you. I mean that platonically, though. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm also friends with your husband. Like, like we're not going to have an affair. I know what you mean.
I love you. Let's go in the broom closet and bang.
Yeah, it's like, dude, don't worry. I got it. Like, I get it. Because I said that I probably had already been saying about them to other people all the time because I love her and her husband. They're great. They've been very good to me. I've known them for a long, long time now. Whatever. But yeah, but it's funny. But no, you and I are good, but it is cool that we kind of talked about that, and maybe it'll be in the episode a little bit. I don't know. Because it does go into some things, and actually we can tie this into many things. You wanted me to bring up my crazy fan stories. Well, mine are different. So, because you were on you're a model, right? You're a smoking hot lady. You're on a smoking hot lady show. So you get fans who are like, I like smoking hot ladies, right?
Yeah.
And you get fans of all sorts too, Obviously a show like that hits big with the homosexual community, a gay community, whatever you want to say. Homosexual community sounds like I'm 1,000 years old. But things like a runway modeling show, fashion show goes big with the gay community, right? So you got a lot of fans like that, I know, right? And women, of course. And so you have all sorts of different fans. We all do. But one thing, and we did talk about this with Jordan last episode, was people assume comedy fans are all dudes. And they're not. Nope. Women love comedy too, and women love sketch comedy. And I think it's I don't know why that particular one seems to really hit with women, but a lot of female fans. And in the case of the Whitest Kids, Trevor and I used to talk about. He'd always say, like, comedians hit in their 30s, musicians hit in their 20s. Well, we hit in our mid 20s. I was not even 26 when the show came out. Now, the Whitest Kids are attractive. in general, right? We're like good-looking dudes, I think.
Y'all are hot as fuck.
Oh, thank you.
Give yourself some goddamn credit.
Well, I'm trying to. I know that I'm cute or whatever, but...
Everyone is like hot in their own way. Like everyone has their thing.
Right, and so we all have our different fans. As far as like fans like that are like, oh yeah, right? And so, yeah. And so, I've had little messages here and there over the years like, oh man, if we met in person, or if I wasn't married, different things like that. And I normally would say like, oh, that's so sweet, thank you. Okay. So in 2020, when we kind of reunited online for Whitest Kids and started doing streams and stuff, it was awesome that we did that. So later that year, I got a message from a fan who just said, I didn't even know if she was much of a fan, but she was watching had been watching Twitch streams. She just sent me a message that a lot of people had been sending me at that time that said, hey, I just want you to know that your streams are making this whole COVID thing much easier to manage, and I appreciate that. And
which it was.
Yeah, right? And I wrote back, I said, well, thank you, because doing it helps us. 100%, My time then would have been way worse if I wasn't doing that, So I said, so thank you. And then she was like, so what would it take to go on a date? And then we kind of joked back and forth. And then I ended up dating that woman long distance for a while. Right? So, and so to me, that's like fine. You know what I mean? Especially once she sends a message back and forth a little bit like that, and she's getting a little flirty. And then I saw her profile picture. I'm like, oh, this is very fine. She looked like a fucking
I can
painting.
work with this.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, hey. So here's the deal. So, and then, so we were kind of dating for a while, and I was, I like to keep that stuff private, but also I'd mentioned having a girlfriend and stuff, right? So, about 6-7 months later, so she and I had been we had already at that point been saying we're a boyfriend-girlfriend kind of thing. There was this Reddit post that said, is Timmy single? And she's like, I'm pretty sure he's not, but I would just love to be his plan B. And goes on and on and on about it. And here's the bad part is I figured this out later. This is a fan I met because she only lives 90 miles from me. No. And she works at a hotel that was hosting a comic book convention in Sioux Falls that I performed at once. And so and she is attractive, right? And this is way before any of this. Like we're talking about 2010 or 11. She was working at this hotel. And I was like, hey, if we have a party later, I'll let you know where we're going. Not any sort of like, hey, I'm going to get, but like, she was like, seemed cool, whatever. Hey, I was traveling with other hot ladies that were friends of mine, so I'm like, I just like to be around hot people, right? So anyway, who doesn't? We ended up, by the way, at a party in a hotel room that night. That girl didn't come, but this dude was like, we walk into this room and this guy's just like making everybody watch hentai, which is Japanese porn. That's like the tentacle porn. It was very strange. We didn't hang out very long. Anyways. But so that was years ago. And I didn't figure out that connection till later. But so she wrote this Reddit post and about like, because I really like him. And it kind of went on and on and on, right? And people were like, this is kind of weird. And then my girlfriend at the time actually went in there as whatever her Reddit alias was. So no one knew it was her. But she's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. And you should back off or something like that. Like, which I love that. She and I had a pretty good relationship. It just got weird because life got weird with Trevor dying and stuff. But she was she is a good person, And so I loved that she did that because she had this tenacity, this kind of fire about that stuff. And so that was good. And so that didn't stop it.
What? She kept going?
Yeah, so here's the deal is now a little bit around the same time on Twitter, I got a message from some fan, a different person, a woman who went on and on and on for paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs about how much she loved me and how we could be together and stuff like that.
Whoa.
I don't think I ever responded to that, right? And so then this Reddit thing happens. And then a month or two after that, I get a Facebook message from the woman who then I put it together. She wrote the Reddit thing. Because she writes me this message being like, I would just, if you're still in a relationship, I would love to be your plan B and that kind of thing. So, she used that same phrase, plan B. So I'm like, oh, this is the same chick. And so it's this Facebook message, right? And it goes on and on and on, paragraphs and paragraphs. And then it gets to a picture of her lying in bed naked. And she's on her stomach. But I see her butt, so I'm like, whoa. And again, yeah, she's like good looking, whatever, but obviously that ship has long sailed. I mean, this is fucking insane. You know what I mean? And I don't know what she's thinking. you know?
Whoa.
And so let's walk this back for a second. So at the time, I was in a relationship with someone that started because she messaged me on the internet, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sure. But what did she say first? Just like, hey, thanks for doing this. And then once I responded, she made a little flirty thing about dating and made it kind of joking and playful, right? Never more than like a sentence or two at a time until we actually started like getting very friendly and close with each other. You know what I mean?
She wanted to get to know who you actually are first.
Right.
It's one thing about you see somebody that you don't know, famous or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I think we would have like a great relationship. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine to have those thoughts.
Right.
But to immediately like start with that instead of actually trying to get to know you as a person is really batshit fucking crazy.
Yeah. And listen, everybody, I am terrible at picking up on red flags. However, if you start with 6 paragraphs and a picture of your ass, like that's a red flag I can pick up on.
Yeah, that's pretty
So like, oh Jesus, you know. And here's the thing, is like she lives 90 miles from me. She knew that, right? So I was worried she was gonna like drive around, come up to Watertown, drive around, see if she sees me. It's not a huge town. It's possible. You know.
And who knows? She may have been stalking your Instagram and showing up at your shows and shit.
Who knows? Yeah. And so, and then several months after that, the woman I was seeing, we broke up. But we were still streaming with Whitest Kids, right? Even after Trevor died, we still streamed. And so I, you know, obviously in my socials, I had said in a relationship with this person, whatever. So after that, I removed those mentions. You know, of course, I'm not going to do that. Of course you're going to do that, right? Like you're not going to say that you're in a relationship with someone that you're not anymore. That's fucked up. However, I did not put single. I just delete, you know, because most of those you can choose not to even have a relationship status, right? Mm-hmm. So I just did that. And when people asked about it, like, how's your girlfriend? I'm like, well, I don't want to talk about that in public anymore. It's all I would say. And then eventually I mentioned, obviously we're broken up because, you know, I hadn't mentioned or anything, you know, but at first I just made it just a non-issue because I didn't want these weirdos to know that I was single again, you know?
God, it's giving such obsession vibes from that lady.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, total obsession. Absolutely. Especially doing it more than once. You know, typing out all this stuff on Reddit, then doing it again, essentially, with a butt picture privately. That's great. You know, that's obsession.
I wonder if she printed out a headshot of you and put it in a picture frame. Like Sheldon.
Right.
Oh, Timmy! Oh, my God. Could you imagine dating somebody or meeting somebody on the internet? Let's say they weren't being fucking weird and creepy and they were just kind of normal, but then you get to their house and they have a fucking shrine to you. I find that even creepier.
Right. You think you're about to hook up, you walk in and you see that, and my reaction would be like, okay, let's fuck, but then we need to talk about this. Anyway.
I'd be like, this is Kathy Bates vibes. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I would be like, I'd find a reason to leave. But you might be able to slip it in first. But then, you know,
Timmy!
I mentioned that story last week, and I don't think I put it on the episode, but, you know, there's a stand-up bit I do about how I hooked up with a groupie bit. That's about a while ago now, 8 or 9 years ago. And that was an obsessive thing too, right? That woman drove from a different state. She didn't live very far away from where I was performing, but she drove across state lines with her brother to see me. Then she like sent her brother home or something. And because she came right up to me and said, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. Can I stay at your hotel room tonight? Yeah. Can I come back? And I was like, yeah. Because she was hot and I wasn't really thinking about it. And I was in a very lonely place at that time. I was at my heaviest weight. I had gotten out of a relationship a few years before that, and I was just, still dealing with divorce stuff too, and it was a bad time. So I was vulnerable, and she was hot, and what do you do? But, and that was, what happened is I didn't have a condom, so I asked her to tell me when she had her period, so I knew that there was not any pregnancy concern. So she did that on Facebook Messenger a couple days after we hooked up, and I then looked at her profile, saw she had a boyfriend, and she had told me she didn't. She had told me she just broke up with this awful abusive man and stuff. And that was true, but she didn't tell me that she had gotten with somebody else. And so then I told her that is fucked up. She goes, well, I was worried that if I told you I had a boyfriend that you wouldn't have slept with me. And I said, yes, that is how that works.
Wow.
And so that is obsession, right? I mean, that, and also that poor dude, like, fuck,
Well, she probably didn't tell him either. He probably still doesn't know.
No, well, maybe he'll see me do stand-up sometime and be like, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Familiar.
Purple Hot Girl Star Wars shirt, May of 2017. You know what I mean? Illinois, Wisconsin. Anyways, but you know what I mean? That's disrespectful to two people. And yourself, honestly, come on, whatever. And that's the thing is, like, that's what you are talking about, is being direct with your labeling. Because, like, if you've told someone we're in a relationship and it was listed on that on our Facebook page, well, then you should not go sleep with somebody else. I don't care if they're incredibly funny, handsome, and on television, But so that's obsession, right? I'm going to drop, like, because that was all part of her plan, right? It's all part of the plan.
She doesn't know you.
Right, but she drove to a different state to sleep with me. And it works because I like boobs.
She knows your characters on a television show.
Yeah. Well, and you know about that. I mean, that's how people treat you too, right? Weird fans, because they don't know you. Or you don't know them. They think they know you. And that's a parasocial relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And so, getting back to the movie, that is what happens. And, there are plenty of hints in this movie that she does love him, possibly has a sexual thing for him, because that's always there. When she first meets him, there's like I just am a fan of these books and I want you to unkill the character because I'm obsessed with these books. But there are hints throughout. There's a romantic thing too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she says, I love you.
Right. A couple times. And like you mentioned that time where she's like, I know you don't love me, so don't say it, Yeah.
Oh, she pulls the fucking gun out of her robe. Fuck.
Yeah. Is that the same time? Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, sometimes I get the blues.
So that's a parasocial relationship where you don't know someone and they don't know you, but they feel like they know you because you are in the public eye in some way,
And because of your characters.
Yeah. Especially a series of romance novels written by a dude. It's like, how involved do you think this guy is? You know what I mean? He's writing this shit for money. It's like the 8th novel. Do you think this is all from the heart? Do you think this is all him pouring his soul onto the page? No.
Before, he even said to his publicist, like, this is not the shit I want to be fucking writing anyways.
Yeah, he didn't want to be
paycheck, bitch. Yeah.
So there's the obsessive parasocial thing. That happened a lot when Trevor died, and a lot of whitest kids. I'm so sad. And if one of us four other whitest kids had posted something, people are like, oh yeah, I'm so sad too. And Sam said it, and I said it in public on a post once or twice too. It's like, you guys can be sad, but you need to understand that what you are going through is 100% different from what we are going through. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't even know your fucking names. And Trevor didn't know you, but you feel like,
we lost
this
a
and
friend.
That. Yeah, we lost a friend, and I mean, we also kind of consider each other brothers, so it's almost like a family member, and you guys don't get that part, so, and most people are super cool about it. Some people are weird, just like the fans that sent me weird love messages. So there's a parasocial relationship, right? And so that is one of two things that Annie represents that really didn't even enter the conversation until years after this movie. The discussion of parasocial relationships and stuff, like, this is 1990. They shot it in 89. There's not social media yet and all that stuff, but these concepts were still there,
I mean, you had a lot of celebrities, like stalker type situations.
Yeah, you would hear about that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of famous ones, and so they definitely wrote about that. And Stephen King writing about a writer, because he's been through that, because he was like, Stephen King, like, for being a writer, was like super famous and in the public eye all the time, So I'm sure he had obsessive fans, and that's, and I don't know if that was the main goal, but I think the other concept I want to bring up about this that I think was probably the bigger goal and has also become a problem years after this is what I would call fan ownership. And do you know what I mean by that?
Oh, and that's why she gets so mad about him killing off the characters.
Yes, she feels like this is hers. This property is hers.
Yeah.
This property is her property. And so she's like, you can't do that. I was like, lady, this is my character. I can do whatever the hell I want to, And so she makes him change the story. And this became a thing. I mean, well, again, it's one of those concepts that has always been a thing, but with the internet, it blew up, and so people treat it like a new concept, even though it wasn't. But fan ownership really became a problem. What I remember was Star Wars. And when they made those sequel films with Rey, who's the woman who was the lead in the newer Star Wars movies, and in the second movie, they had her become very powerful. They brought back Luke Skywalker, but not in the way that a lot of people wanted to see him. He wasn't this cool badass. He was like a weird old grizzled man. He died at the end. I don't know if you've seen those movies or not, but you probably don't care that I just majorly spoiled it, right? So,
but I get what you're saying is like people get so obsessed.
Right. But what I was going to get at, so that was the second of 3 movies. When they made the third one, they like walked back some of the stuff that happened because a local minority of fans were so horrible about it, and even sent death threats to some of the actresses and stuff from that movie, so
oh jeez,
because this woman Rey, the main character, was very powerful. She has the Force and is like good with a lightsaber almost right away. And you know what, it's like, yeah, you can be like, well, why is she so good right away? Well, but just fuck it, it's a movie. But there's a Chewbacca. You're right, there's a Chewbacca. Just shut up.
It's not real.
I know. And so they were like, there's got to be a reason she's so powerful. So then in that third movie, one of the things they like walked back, they said that she was the granddaughter of the Emperor. The Emperor from the old classic Star Wars movies, right? The guy in the black robe shoots lightning. Yeah. So it's like, okay. And they did a few things like that, kind of walking back things they did. And it was because of fan pressure. They're
placating the fans like he's placating her.
Exactly. And it's fucked up that, people do that. There's one maybe other thing I do kind of remember, and it's another interesting thing. It maybe doesn't quite play into this, but it's something I think about a lot, which is we're on the train once, you and I, and after boning all night. And I probably didn't need to say that part, but anyway, so we're on the train, and there was some other girl on the train, and you were like really frustrated, and you felt like she'd been staring at you. Do you remember that? You were like, God, she's fucking staring at me, And it's very possible that she was actually staring at you and not just happened to be looking your way. You know what I mean? And because you were, famous, that and people might know who you are, sure. And I bring it up now because I have this thing, especially in town here where I live, where sometimes they're like, stop staring at me, and they probably aren't. You know what I mean? But you never know for sure.
I mean, it would happen to me a lot on the train. I would have people that would see me sitting on the train with my headphones on, with my eyes closed because I was exhausted after work.
Sure.
And I'm taking a little slumber before getting home. People would physically put their hands on me to wake me up.
What the fuck?
To ask me if I was Shandi from Top Model.
And that's when you said, no, I'm Adrian Curry, right?
I'm Kathy Bates.
Well, I said Adrian Curry because didn't she win one year? She's like a model from that show, right? I only know her name because she did Playboy shortly thereafter. So,
and I just went, yeah. And you woke me up for that? You couldn't wait till I got up. I mean, it's just that kind of shit drives me fucking bonkers. Yeah. I mean, I've had people recognize me on the train. I've taken photos with them. Sure. They went about it in... There's no correct way to kind of approach somebody you don't know that you're a fan of, but there is a nice, kind way to go about it. Yeah. Where you just go, oh, hey, I recognize you. Would you mind taking... Yes, abso-fucking-lutely.
Sure, yeah.
But putting your hands on someone that you don't know, but you know from a show is totally fucking unacceptable.
Yeah, well, and don't do it to anybody.
No, don't fucking touch anyone.
When Margaret's mom was pregnant, like, we'd be out and about, and, once you're really far along, it's showing. People would be like, touch your belly. Like, oh, you're pregnant. It's like, get the fucking hands off my wife's belly. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
What the fuck?
That's a thing. That is a thing. Ask women who've been pregnant. It's a thing.
That's bizarre as fuck.
And it was weird when I saw it happen because it was on we were going to some comic book thing it was free comic book day. And so the guy that was touching her belly was also dressed like a pirate. So I was like, get the fuck out of here, pirates. But there was some costume thing happening. I don't know what it was, but yeah. It's just weird. But yeah, so there's boundaries and stuff. And obviously, getting back to the movie, but I think this is all good stuff that is about what the movie's about, The woman, Annie, she doesn't know that. And there's several things in the movie that not just like, oh, she's crazy, but she doesn't know boundaries. She was probably mistreated by her husband and her dad, who they definitely hint at that she probably killed her dad when she was a child, So, she doesn't know what a good relationship with any kind of person is like, a family relationship, romantic, anything. She doesn't know what that's like. She's also very sheltered. And they say that towards the end when he has finished the new Misery novel that she's making him write. And his tradition is always to smoke a cigarette, because he doesn't smoke anymore, but he smokes when that happens. And he drinks champagne, and he gets Dom Perignon. And she calls it Dom Perignon. And that's very late in the movie. And when she says that, it's scary, again, because it's like, oh, this woman just doesn't fucking know anything about anything, and yet is using her power to, like, torture this guy,
But she knows every fucking thing about him. Where
right.
He was born.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And everything I just said about his tradition when he finishes a book. In the movie, when he finishes writing that book, he's like, well, I have a tradition. And she at first acts like she doesn't know what it is. She's like, just kidding. Of course, it's all this. And she just rattles all that stuff off. And she hadn't just watched the movie Misery like I have. So she has no excuse for remembering it. So yeah, there's a lot there about obsession and fan ownership. And both things are not good, That's... if you feel yourself like, even if you listen to this podcast of all goddamn things and feel like you know us, especially since in this episode you likely heard us talk about some personal stuff, well, you still don't know us. You know what I mean? And so it's important for people to remember that. And when it comes to the work the person is doing, now in your case, you were on a reality show, so that didn't really come up for you. But when you're making something like fiction and stories and stuff like that, and people get obsessed with the characters, well, then they feel ownership. And now that I say that, well, you are the character to them then, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Because it's a reality show. So they think, wow, okay, so yeah. So like the choices you made, they kind of see it as their favorite character doing something bad. And so they get
Kathy
fucking
Bates
weird about
would have been very upset about my character. Very upset.
Yeah. A lot of things she wouldn't even understand. You just don't know. You don't know the person, and it's important to maintain respect. And it's like I always say to my Whitest Kids fans, like 99% of you guys are cool. And after being on Reddit for a while, I'm like 98% of you guys are cool. There are a few more shitbags out there than I thought, but that's still a pretty good ratio.
When she gives those, and you mentioned this, the tidbits about her past.
Yeah.
She's so good that I begin to empathize with her character a little bit, try to understand why she is like this.
Yeah.
But then the minute that Paul starts going through her scrapbook and you sort of come to this realization that death surrounds this person, then I stopped empathizing with her character. I went, no, she's fucking evil.
Right. But I'm guessing the point you're talking about is when it's the pee part, right? When she's standing at the window talking about herself. And you do start to kind of like, because she talks about having a shitty husband. And she mentions like, I know I don't look like a Hollywood star. And that kind of stuff. And you start to
and she had a hard time when her husband left. And she was
yep.
feeling lonely and isolated.
And that the novels helped her, right?
Yeah. And exactly what you were saying about what people were saying about your Twitch stream. Is it was helping her get through a rough patch.
Yeah.
Which that makes sense to me. That's fine.
Sure. And I can say...
That's lovely.
Yes. And that's a great thing to tell the person when you have access to them. Because I thought that meant a lot to me. Or, got many messages over the years like I was going to kill myself and watch Whitest Kids and laughed and then didn't do it. I've gotten those messages. And that's amazing. Like if my stupid fucking show about poop and boners and underwear make you avoid a horrible decision like that, okay, great,
It never crossed my mind doing this show that, well, one, that it would get so popular, but two, that I would have moms and kids message me that after seeing the relationship with me and my mom and how bad it was, that they would grow closer together watching the show and kind of realizing that they needed to talk to each other more. It blew my mind getting messages like that of, we watched the show together. We kind of had the same relationship and realized that we needed to talk more and bond more, and we really wanted to thank you for sharing that with everyone. And I just went, what? Because in my head, it's just like what you said. You're like, oh, this is all about poop and boners.
Yeah.
For me, it was just, oh, this is just some dumb reality TV show. What significance does it have to anyone about anything? Yeah. But they can be profound for some people.
You can find something in anything. Maybe it would be a good way to put it. Because there's like every dumbass movie, every weird TV show, every stupid book, whatever, has a mega fan somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Even this podcast, So, like, it does. There's like a couple people that are diehards for this thing, right? So, and thank you to those people. Just don't be weird. And I don't think you are weird, so good job. But, if you ever get an inkling to follow me or Shandi home or send me a picture of your butt, just don't do it.
Unless we ask for it.
Right. Send butt pics. Don't. Thank you. Anyways, I go find my own butt pictures. I'm an adult. Anyways, but yeah, it's it is a thing. There's a way to interact with people to always maintain appropriateness and to not tell them what their deal is. And I mean, obviously, Annie is someone who had a horrible childhood or a horrible marriage or whatever. And yeah, you start to feel bad for her. But then, yeah, once he starts feeling better and he stops taking the pills, he's hiding the pills in a rip in his mattress. And then he finally, when she goes out for one day, Paul gets a bobby pin and picks the lock on the door so he can get out. And she had got him a wheelchair. And so he goes around the house and finds, the scrapbook, like Shandi said. And she keeps like articles of people that she probably killed in accidents. Oh. And a lot of babies. A bunch of babies were dying at this hospital by suffocation.
That she was working at.
Yes.
What is she called? The Dragon Lady?
The Dragon Lady.
The moniker they gave her because all these infants dying.
Yeah. And then she got fired or something. Then a new hospital where she got hired at, it started happening again.
There's a special kind of evil for people that do shit like that. And you hear stories about that all the time of nurses, and not just infants, but like nurses injecting patients with lethal doses of things.
Yeah,
because they think they're doing them a favor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is there nothing in your brain that goes, okay, you have the thought, but it doesn't stop you from doing it?
Right. If you're a nurse and you're listening and you have having troubling thoughts, don't hurt anybody else. Just go fuck the anatomy dummy, like the lady in Penn did.
Go get yourself a pen.
He apparently had a pretty sweet cock, so just go for it.
A lot of times when very significant changes happen in a person's life, like a death in the family or their husband leaves or whatever reason, they tend to enter these hoarding situations. That's what happens to a lot of hoarders. Annie's hoarding the fantasy.
Yeah.
Like she's hoarding this like fantasy in these books, like that her life could be like this, but unfortunately it wasn't.
Right.
But this is what her life could be like. And so she's just kind of holding on to that.
Yeah, and it's like her dreams come true because here's the writer, and she's obviously been obsessed with him too, thinking, like we just talked about all the parasocial stuff, thinking that he really knows what's going on with her, that he's speaking to her, through these books. And so, and I forget the exact wording, but there's a few times where she kind of says like my writer and stuff like that, where she basically sees him as a possession she has. It almost is like he becomes part of what she's collecting for Misery. Like she has a little Misery shrine, and now she has the ultimate collectible, the fucking dude, right? So it's kind of like that, yeah. And she really treats it that way. But yes, the God thing is something that I noted as well. So at the point where she's finished the novel where Misery dies, she's really upset and, throws the stool or whatever. And then the next day comes in with this whole plan where she's going to make him burn the old manuscript of his other novel and then write a new novel where Misery comes back to life. So when she introduces that, she said, I asked God about you. That is a sign you're truly fucked, right? Yeah. When your captor says that, right? And then she says, help me help you right after that, which is also bad. But yes, so there's some sort of, maybe she's religious, maybe she's using it as an excuse. Because then she says,
tell her to kill all those babies, maybe?
Exactly. Because then later, after she hobbles his feet, she says, God, I love you. And that's more just saying, oh, God is like an expletive, not like talking about God. So I think that other one is the only time she really talks about it. But yeah, it's...
And then, or I could say what he types. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, and that's part of a scene. So, like, you know, the famous hobbling scene happens pretty late in the film. And so most of the movie, when he's trapped, after he's been, she makes him start writing this new book, he is scheming the whole time. He's stealing these pills. He steals the bobby pin off the floor. And he's training by lifting his heavy-ass typewriter up and down.
I love that.
Foreshadowing. And he's lifting it up and down. And it's like during this montage that goes between him writing the new novel, Kathy Bates reading the manuscript, and then the sheriff reading misery novels at his house as he's trying to like kind of figure out a good angle on this whole thing. And so it's going between those three things, and they start putting in Paul working out, lifting the typewriter up and down, which is an old 50s heavy ass metal typewriter, and it is really heavy. We figured that out later, but but then, you know, she's so conniving, and the reason I brought up earlier that I think sometimes she's faking the whole like gee whiz kind of thing is because like she's really tricky. And like when he first escapes the room and looks around, he sees this phone. It's a fake phone. It's an old rotary phone, and it's fake, like just there for decor or whatever. And like you said, she's hoarded. Like, there's a lot of weird shit in this place. And what I told you was like, yeah, the 4K makes it look great because there are all these fucking knickknacks and doilies everywhere. This is probably the most doilies you've ever seen in a house of terror in a movie.
Timmy, if someone had been in your house, would you know anything was out of place? Like the tiniest little thing like she does?
I don't know. Maybe. You know, because I there's clutter. There's a lot of clutter in this room I'm sitting in right now.
Like if I took any of your like DVDs and
that's the clue.
Put them in a different spot, you would notice that?
Yes, okay. That. I was going to say like other stuff like the clutter in my room, the clutter in my office here of papers, I don't know. But yeah, if you moved a Blu-ray around, you get caught. You got.
You're getting a hammer.
Yeah. The hobbling. So he gets out a few times, and yes, so one of the times he almost breaks this tiny little ceramic penguin knickknack and catches it and sets it back, and he thinks he's fine, but then later she reveals that she knows he's been out because the penguin was moved. It
always sits north, east, or west is what she said.
Yeah, something like that. Northwest, I think. And then, oh, man. And so that's
psychotic.
Yeah. And around this time, too, like, he's finishing the novel. And
she's loving it.
Yeah. He starts getting close to being done with it, and she starts being visibly depressed. And it tells him, like, that means, you know, you're going to want to leave soon. And I was like, going to want to leave soon? You think he hasn't wanted to leave this entire time? You think he was okay with it? Which, you know, is another hint that some of that gee gosh kind of stuff is real, and that she buys into his whole like, oh, I love you, I want to work on this, this is great, you know, because he kind of feeds her this bullshit.
I think she wants to believe in it, but knows that there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
And I just say that, and we mentioned this before, is when she says, I know you don't feel the same way.
Yeah. One note I had that when we were talking about fan ownership that I actually thought was a good enough point to go back to is, so when he's going to start writing the new Misery novel, she buys him some paper, and he tells her it's the wrong kind of paper, and she gets so fucking pissed about it.
The smudge. It smudges.
Yeah, because it smudges.
Oh, I guess it does.
She's like, oh, so is there anything else you want me to get? You want me to get this? Like, you want me to buy you the whole store? It's like, holy shit.
Do it, Timmy, do the voice so good.
Thank you. Well, I could play this character.
Yeah, you fucking
if we did a Misery sketch for Whitest Kids, I'd be this woman. No
oh, my God.
But anyways, but the whole paper thing is a great example of how fans get attached to your work and want to be in control of it and feel that fan ownership, but also do not understand how it's made and don't understand what you're really doing. And that's a good little metaphor for that, the paper thing. It's the most expensive paper, so it has to be the best. It's like, you don't fucking get it. You know what I mean?
Oh, because she, in her mind, is like, obviously he uses the best paper because he's the best writer in the entire universe of everything in the world. Why would he use the cheap stuff?
Exactly. And so it's just a great example of how those kind of people think they know everything about what you're doing and can tell you what to do, but actually don't know what your job is at all.
I cook for you. I clean for you. I do everything for you. When she went to get in her car to go to town, I went, she is the fucking Karen of this town.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Can you imagine how she probably talks to the guy at the little town store if they don't have what she needs? Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's horrible. God.
And she drops a racial slur in this movie. She says dago, which is a nasty term for Italian people, and I forget what she's talking about.
She's a nasty lady. That's a good word to call her.
Yeah, nasty woman. Yeah, nasty woman. And in the book, if I remember right, she breaks out the really bad racial slurs, you know? Oh, so, geez. Like, yeah. All racial slurs are bad because they're meant to demean people and weaken them and show that you're more powerful than them just because you're not their same color. But, you know, obviously there's some that hold a lot more weight than some of those ones. So anyways, but yeah, it's still nasty. And, you know, yeah, so the cracks are always there. What's cool about this is there's so many movies where there's someone who's in an abusive, horrible situation, they're being manipulated, and they don't quite get it. But it was kind of fun in this one. This guy knows it's happening almost the entire time. Mm-hmm. And he's just faking that he's okay with it, and while he's doing all these plans, like, so he stops eating his pills at first to keep himself more with it. Mm-hmm. So he can't be passed out and have her fucking, who knows what she would do. Again, maybe the HJ did happen. But she gives him a little notebook to keep notes on when he's laying in bed and can't type. So he uses the paper to make a little envelope and starts opening the pills and pouring the powder into there.
Very smart.
Super smart. And then he also steals a knife and hides it in the same spot, and the bobby pin. And like when he finds the closet where she has all her medicine and shit, which it's a creepy amount of medical gear too. It's like what you would find in a storeroom at a hospital, right? Mm-hmm. Not like someone's medicine cabinet. It's like a closet full of all that shit. And the pills are what you would find at like a pharmacy or something where they're in a little display case and in their individual little blister packs. So he takes one of those and then he smartly moves the one that was behind it up so it kind of still looks like the same amount was there, you know?
Yeah, that's when you think like, okay, she's not going to know.
Right, he's going to get out of here.
Yeah, he's fine. He's being particular and taking precautions because he kind of knows that like she's probably gonna know if something's out of place, but you're like, oh, he's fine, he'll be fine.
Right. We keep talking about she maybe is faking her attitude sometimes, and but it tricks the audience into thinking like he is a lot smarter than she is, so he'll be fine. He's gonna figure this out.
You know what scene I really love is when he's having dinner alone and she's watching TV upstairs and she's got a big thing of cheese balls and a 2-liter of Coke.
Yeah, and she's watching The Dating Game.
The Love Connection, or she was watching Dating Game and The Love Connection, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, both somewhat, and they're pretty much the same show if you don't know, but where they hook up a date and they have the people come on and talk after the date. But anyways, she, and that's, because she is one of those people, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of funny. But she is the Terminator, and he doesn't really realize it.
You know why I also like that scene is it humanizes her. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, she can't be that bad.
Right, because that's what you do after work.
I related to her.
Yeah, you sit on the couch, you watch some dumb bullshit reality show, and you eat snacks, right? I mean, I essentially do that, only it's an Italian horror movie instead of reality TV, but I do the same shit, you know?
It's like, we didn't necessarily need that shot in there, but we did in a sense, because you just go, do I feel bad for her? No, she's terrible. She's fucking evil.
Yeah,
but then you see that, and you're like, oh, she's just like a sad, lonely lady whose like husband fucking left her, and she's lonely.
And you know what? Now that you bring that up,
are you lonely?
The empathy thing. Are you lonely tonight? Dude, we get in tandem about some stuff, right? In some ways, hosting a podcast together is like a marriage in some ways, where it's like we're getting on the same page. Because I'm editing the Pin episode still, and there's a part where I forget what we do. It's a goofy little call-out shouting thing, and you and I do it at the exact same time without any prompting. It's like, oh my God.
Oh my
it's
God.
Funny. Which is what we just did. Anyways, but no, so the point I was going to make is, so we're talking about how maybe sometimes her attitude is real and sometimes it's part of her whole manipulation. And then you say that, there are scenes where maybe you are empathetic towards her. So now I'm wondering, like, maybe there's parts in the movie when Paul is sincerely being nice to her.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. Okay, so she's telling me all these things about her life. So I guess she's just sad and lonely, and that's why she's behaving this way. Like, is trying to come up with a reason of she can't be that bad. Like,
right.
She's just acting this way because these things have happened to her. She's compensating in some weird way. I mean, I've gone on weird dates where people have acted kind of strange like this, where they just, instead of telling me anything good about what's going on in their life, the whole date is just them talking about all the awful things that happened to them in their life, but they're also saying kind of sweet things to me at the same time. So it's just this kind of mind fuck of, it's like pulling at my heartstrings and me feeling sympathetic, but then also feeling very cautious about this person.
Right.
As if they have so much that they need to deal with. Why are they trying to have any sort of relationship right now?
Yeah. You're like, why are they here? Yes. Okay,
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I've had that. Yeah.
That's kind of what her character is going through. Is like she's gone through all this bad shit and she's using anything else to try to deal with it or justify it. God is one of them.
Right. Pushing it down. I don't think she's dealing with it.
Pushing it. Yeah. Pushing it down for sure.
Ignoring it. Yeah. Yeah. So, when he gets close to finishing the novel, he's like, let's have dinner together. And, a real nice dinner. And so that's his plan, to take his powder that he's been collecting of all the pills and dump it in her drink and drug her so he can, figure it out. Because it's
Get
this
the
point.
Fuck out of there.
Yeah, and he's been at this point working out and stuff. And this is before the hobbling. So he's like just about ready to run away, like literally. Like he's getting there, And then they're talking. He pours her a bunch of wine. She's like, oh, not too much. And then she knocks the glass over, and it really seems like an accident, but I'm not 100% sure it's an accident.
Yeah, I don't know. I just went fuck when she knocks it over. But I love that he's sitting at the table, and every shot on him is just his shrine in the background. Like he's sitting in front of his photo.
Yeah, his own picture and like all of his books and stuff. Yeah.
Have you ever had her kind of meatloaf before?
With Spam in it? I don't know. I've had good meatloaf, and I mean, to me, anything with ground beef like that, you mix in sausage, which is similar idea to Spam, which is because it's salty.
It's like ham, so like a ham loaf.
Yeah, well, that's a thing. But ham loaf is gross, kind of. It looks weird. But no, I mean, cutting different stuff into meatloaf. Like when I make meat sauce for spaghetti sauce, I do Italian sausage and ground beef. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that idea I'm familiar with, yes. Lasagna is often like that. Most lasagna recipes are sausage and ground beef, So, but yeah, and Spam, I guess, has a similar thing. But it also just goes into her weird sheltered 50s kind of lifestyle that instead of using sausage or some other real food, she's using this weird canned meat, which apparently Spam is amazing. You love Spam.
I love it.
My daughter loves Spam now because she's been to Hawaii, and I need to get in on the Spam train.
I just never heard of it mixed with ground beef to make meatloaf, and I only use fresh tomatoes. I don't use canned tomatoes ever.
But I use nuclear shelter ham.
And she eats fucking Cheetos and drinks a 2-liter of soda by herself. Okay, lady.
Yeah, so don't act like you're all this natural granola stuff, dude. You will love high fructose corn syrup and preservatives just like the rest of us. And so, while he's trying to scheme, and she keeps, either on purpose or not, fucking up his schemes, right? She knocks over the glass that he's been saving these pills for weeks. We don't know how long, really, but for a long time. They show the change of seasons, So... and then he dumps it all in her glass. She knocks it over. Well, there goes that plan. During this time, Paul's getting ready to escape. He's feeling better, and he's working out and stuff, and he steals this knife. And we see him start practicing stabbing her. Like he's hiding it in his a sling for his broken arm. And so he's practicing taking it out, right? And she comes in, and she comes home. And he knows that, she'd been pissed at him for something. I forget what it was. But so she comes home, and all she does is walk by his door and walk away. And that is so fucking scary, right? Oh, God. What is she doing? And then she comes back in the middle of the night with a needle. hypodermic, and knocks him out. And then when he wakes up, he's tied down, and she reveals that she knows he's been sneaking out, and she found the bobby pin that he'd been using and all that kind of stuff.
I found your key.
Yeah, I found your key and all that stuff. So then she reveals, I know you've been sneaking out, and I have a gun right now, and but I'm not going to kill you. Here's what they used to do at this mining company when the miners would try and run off or whatever. And it was called hobbling. And so she puts a big 2x4, a sturdy one. Actually, it looks like a 4x4. It looks thicker. So about 2 or 3 feet long, so it fits right between your legs. And then takes a sledgehammer and just hits him in the ankle on the outside on one of his feet so that it just all slams together, right? Because if you hit that without a piece of wood there, it'll hurt, but it won't break it necessarily because it'll kind of like the foot will move, with the impact. But here it's like between a rock and a hard place. Ooh, man, and yeah, like we mentioned earlier, like you see the first time you see the foot kind of bend very unnaturally, and it's hard to even talk about. They do such a great job.
I bet there were a lot of ohs in the movie theater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'd be fun to have seen
it for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Fun. I'm sure. And she also says then, like, and I found the knife. Like she knows everything now, right? And so he's just totally fucked. During that time, as we mentioned, the sheriff, Buster, is, besides supposedly boning his cute, horny wife, the other thing he's trying to figure out is what's happening. And so he starts reading the misery novels. And he comes upon a quote that catches his eye, and he's not sure why. And the quote is, "There's a judge higher than that of man. I will be judged by him." So he's reading the misery novels, and he even remarks on what the characters are doing to his wife, and she's like, "What?" Remember that part? They're sitting at the fireplace, and he's into it, talking about the two different men, the love triangle thing or whatever. And his wife's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I love their relationship so much. Anyways, so around that time, on one of his little missions to sneak out into the rest of the house, Paul finds, as we mentioned, the scrapbook that really lays out all these horrible things that have happened, accidents and dead babies. And they're all in this scrapbook, which indicates, okay, Annie did all this. And there's stuff about court. And she even mentions at some point earlier, oh, yeah, I saw that when I was in court in Denver. And he's like, because he didn't know what it was about. So he finds all this, and so he finds some pictures of when she was going to court and stuff too. And so the sheriff is at a hardware store or something and runs into Annie, right?
Oh, she's yelling at somebody.
Yes, he's in the store and she's yelling at someone who parked badly or got in her way of her car.
Karen.
Right, and it's right after she hobbled Paul.
Yep.
Right? So she's fucked up at this point. And the sheriff notices that and sees Annie. And then he's in the general store where they also buy the books. And he's like, "Does anyone else ever buy these misery novels?" And he mentions that Annie's obsessed with them.
Oh, yeah. He goes "Anybody buy anything weird lately?"
Yeah, he's like, "Not weird. Paper. Is paper weird?"
Paper's weird.
And he's like, "No, that's not weird, but it obviously is weird to him." Because he has a suspicion that Paul's alive and Paul's a writer.
Yeah, and he's like, ding, 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 ding.
Because then what does he do? He goes to the library. The great part of any investigation movie is when they go to the library to look at microfilm, right? Because you can do that.
Microfiche.
Yeah, microfiche. And you can do that. My library has that. I've never done it. Have you ever looked at microfilm?
I've always wanted to. Maybe I should see if any of the libraries over here have them.
Because a lot of it is old newspapers. That's what he looks at. And he finds all these things about Annie that Paul had seen in the scrapbook, which is she's always been around when there's these dead babies and stuff like that. And then he sees the article about her in court and how she gets acquitted, right? And there's a quote from her. "There's a judge higher than that of man. I'll be judged by him." And he's like, "Holy fucking shit." Now he's put it together, Yep. She has him. Because that quote is from a misery novel. So, holy shit.
Excellent detective work, Sheriff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he drives right over there to her house. And Paul sees him coming. He's like, "Oh, good."
Right before the sheriff comes down the driveway, she's outside the window. I think she's feeding the pig.
Yes. She has a big pet pig named Misery, by the way. We forgot all that.
And that's the thing, too, that kind of humanizes her as well. It's she treats the pig well.
Yes. And named it after her favorite character, which is a thing everybody does.
But then
pets,
in the scrapbook, didn't she steal the damn pig from someone? Like the
Oh,
pig
did
went
she?
missing. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
there's
notice
an
that.
article that like she
man.
stole the damn fucking
Oh
thing.
no.
She's outside and she says something to Paul and he just flips her off. So he's just like done placating her bullshit. He's like, I'm not being fucking nice to you anymore. You fucked my legs up.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
But when the sheriff starts coming down the drive, I go, no, she's there.
Yeah.
Like, no. No.
So then, Paul notices him coming. Well, of course, Annie saw him coming too. She barges into the room, knocks him out again. He wakes up in the friggin' basement. And the sheriff comes up. They all know each other, So he just starts talking to her, asking about, like, do you know who Paul Sheldon is? And she's really smart about this. She doesn't say, like, oh, I don't know who Paul Sheldon is. She admits I'm a huge Misery fan and all this stuff.
What do you want to know?
Yeah, I know everything about him. Yeah. And then she says that she's like, since he died in this accident, I am trying to become the new Paul Sheldon and writing a new Misery novel. So that's why I have all this paper and I've set up this little writing room.
There's a reason for everything that might seem weird.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So... but he's not buying this bullshit for a second.
No.
But and there's that awesome scene where she says she's gonna get him some hot cocoa, and she goes down the hallway, and he's in the foreground and she's in the background of the shot, and he starts kind of looking around, and she pokes her head back out, knowing that he's gonna be sneaking around, and like catches him. So then he kind of goes back, and she goes back, and he does it again, So, but he eventually starts looking around and seeing things that he's like, this is bad.
Yeah.
But then he starts leaving without anything happening. And then as he's leaving, Paul wakes up in the basement and starts making noise. He's like, I'm down here. So then Sheriff Buster runs in.
He says, like, ma'am, are you okay? He thinks it's like she fell or something.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I don't think he thinks that at all. I think he knows exactly what it is. But to give himself a pretense to get into the house.
Yeah, are you okay?
Are you okay? So then he runs down. He sees Paul's alive. He's like, oh, Paul. Are you Paul Sheldon? Yes. And then, boom, dead with a shotgun blast to the chest.
It hurt me so much. I totally forgot that he gets shot like that. I mean, it is fucking brutal.
Yeah. And yet, not nearly as bad as what happens in the book.
Really?
So
don't give it away. I gotta read the book.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I told you the foot thing, but
the foot thing's fine.
If I remember right, Sheriff Buster's not in the book, but there's a different character who serves the same purpose.
Oh, okay. But it's not Buster.
No, but it's an investigator guy, and she still gets him, and it's different. So, I love detectives. I love good detective scenes in movies, and I'd like it when he puts it together. Because he knew this quote stuck out to him for some reason, and he figures out why. Because I'm sure he remembers seeing that in the paper when she got in trouble, because he's an old guy. He's been around for a long time, right? Mm-hmm. And I wrote this down. I said, I often say, God, I fucking hate old people. Out in my life. I say it all the time. Like, get away from me. You're ruining driving. You're ruining the country. You vote poorly. I fucking hate old people. Then I watched Richard Farnsworth use his long memory to put together Annie's quote from the paper with the book and figure it out. I said out loud, God, I fucking love old people. But I mean, he's a great old person, so he's adorable and he's cool and he's smart. But yeah, it still doesn't save him because she's also smart. So then we're kind of getting toward the end game because now she comes into the basement again with a needle, with a hypo again, and a pistol. And she says, I bought 2 bullets. Because she's like, we're at the end, it's time for us both to die, basically, because people are going to start asking questions because, she killed the sheriff. And he's trying to, like, not get killed right now because he also has a plan. Because while he's been down in the basement, Paul found a can of lighter fluid, the same that she used to set his novel on fire earlier. So he hides that in his back pocket. He's really good at stuffing stuff in his sweatpants in this movie. He has to do it a few times. But anyway,
he really is.
He does that. And so she's like, well, we're going to die now. We're both going to die. About 2 bullets.
Yeah.
Because she shows him the gun earlier, and she's like, I better leave before I go buy bullets for this. Because she's mad at him, and she shows him the gun.
Oh, yeah. She walks out into the rain with the fucking gun.
God. So she does buy 2 bullets, apparently. So anyway, she's like, we're going to die now. And he's like, wait, I'm so close to done. If you'd like, I can finish it tonight. And then, so what's the weird line?
By dawn, we'll be able to give misery back to the world.
Yeah, because he says, we'll bring misery back to life and all this stuff. And then he says that to her. And she's like, okay. So
he's such a good writer.
Yeah, lets him finish. Yeah, even when he's just like pleading for his life from this crazy bastard.
Not die.
Yeah. And so this ending is brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's different in the book. So in the book, I'll spoil it for you because you're going to read it. So anyways.
No, you can spoil it. It's fine.
The thing I'm going to say is not really a spoiler because it's different. But, well, maybe it is. Okay. I don't know. Anyways, the manuscript does not get burned in the book.
Oh, okay.
Of his new novel, the non-misery one. So, but it does in this to make this part awesome, I think is why they did it. So he finishes it and she keeps coming. It's like, oh my God, oh, don't tell what's going to happen. Don't tell me what's going to happen. Don't tell me. He's like, oh, God, fucking nutcase, you know?
Well, thankfully she likes this book.
Yeah, totally. Well, because she makes him change it at one point, though. Remember?
Oh, yeah. She's like, this isn't good.
You got to change this and that. Because she wanted him to have a better reason for misery to not be dead.
Yeah. Or like, it couldn't have happened that way.
Yeah, she called bullshit on it. Because she's like, I've seen, there's this old movie I watched, and the guy, they said that he didn't die because he jumped out of the car, but you clearly didn't see him jump out of the car before, so that's stupid. So don't do that. So anyways, yeah, of course she likes this book because she's been controlling it. It goes back to that fan ownership thing.
Well, didn't she say, like, you'll write it in my honor? Some creepy ass shit.
Yeah, she says that when she first brings up the idea, but then she kind of starts controlling how he's writing it too, you know? So anyway, so he finishes it. Yeah, total psychopath. Like the real definition, you know? And like textbook. And anyways, so he finishes and tells her, and we mentioned this earlier, but he's like, I need to have my little traditional things. And that's when she says Dom Perignon, which scared the shit out of me. And not because I'm some foo-foo, it's Dom Perignon, but it's like the fact that she does that just means she doesn't really know anything, and yet she has all this power over this guy. It's the same thing I get mad about when people who vote for Donald Trump, because it's people who have not left their fucking house or their town ever. You know what I mean? It's people who's, I always say, bubble. Exactly. I always say bubble is one thing I say. I call Watertown Bubble Town. And the other thing I say is they have a worldview that could fit on the head of a pin, you know? And this is a little good indicator of that, like, she doesn't know shit, but here she has all this power. And so there's these people who don't know shit about trans people. They don't know any black people. They don't know anything about healthcare. They don't know this, that. They've never been to a city. They've never been to New York. They've never been to Chicago. They don't know anything about crime. And yet they're just whole hog voting for all these shitheads who are lying to them to give them so that they can have power and go do whatever they want, you know, and it's awful. And so this is a good indicator of a similar kind of situation where this idiot has no business having this guy, and then here she does. But anyway, so she gets him that, and she gets him a cigarette and the match. And so once he has all that, he's like, the only difference is I need 2 glasses because he wants her to have a drink with him.
Oh, Paul. Oh, Paul.
So she goes to get it. Which is, by the way, maybe we're just being silly, but no, that is like exactly the sound she makes.
Yeah. Woo! I wrote down, thank God for rituals. Am I right?
Yeah, you know, well, and I have little rituals about stuff, sure.
Can save your fucking life.
Yeah, man. So while she's doing that, he takes out the lighter fluid and he pours it on the book and stuff, and he gets ready. And so she comes back. Did you happen to write down what he says to her exactly? I forget.
No, I didn't, but I just went, I get to taste your own medicine or something like that.
Which is essentially what he says.
Yeah. I learned this from you or
yeah,
some
exactly.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is great because he's a nurse, medicine.
Yeah. Taste your own medicine, boom. Anyway, so he doesn't say that, but you did, so you're smart. I don't know. Anyways, so he write down that I said that. It doesn't happen very often. Anyways.
Timmy said, hold on, where's my pen? Timmy said Shandi is smart at 2 hours, 34 minutes, 30 seconds.
Boom.
Beautiful.
Time code. Anyways, so the only thing she actually cares about in this world is this fucking book, right?
Yep.
So he basically uses it as a death threat. It's like holding up a gun to a hostage, right?
Yep.
And he's like, I'm going to do it. And he sets on fire.
So good.
Because he knows that she's going to like go to put it out, and that's when he attacks her. So he sets the book on fire. Well, Andy, like I said, is an elephant. She's a buffalo. She's a freight train. So she just runs at him. But she takes out her gun, too. And she shoots him in the shoulder. What is he? He just tries to fight her. I mean, you know, the main thing, he's been working out with his arms. So he's stronger in arms, and his legs are still fucked up.
Gouge her in the eyes. Her eyes start bleeding. Oh
yeah,
my God.
He gouges her in the eyes, and she shoots another random shot somewhere. He knocks that out.
Bullets are gone. We know that. Thank God.
And she's trying to stab him with the needle, and he gets that away. And they fight over and over, and he, like, hits her with the typewriter in the face.
Ow.
And it's awesome.
Ow.
And I'm like, holy shit, because those things are old and heavy. Don't you have an old typewriter? Did you?
I used to have one, and it was heavy as shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you can kill a man with it, right? So,
fuck yeah.
So he knocks her. He thinks she's dead. Whatever. She falls down.
Oh, that old horror movie trope we love.
Yep.
When you think.
Yep. That old chestnut. Everything's fine now.
Dead.
There's a few great things here. So.
Well, because he's crawling, right? Because his legs are still fucked up.
And she's still alive. Wah! Comes after him, right?
That shot overhead of him crawling and just her, we think, is dead body. So fucking good. I didn't look up who the cinematographer was.
Probably someone big. Yeah, Barry Sonnenfeld. So
okay,
It's another one of the names that I thought, like, man, it's just a murderer's row. It's just all-star.
Incredible.
Yeah, Barry Sonnenfeld's always been a great cinematographer. He shot the Coen Brothers movies and stuff. And then he went on to direct some fun comedies like Addams Family and Men in Black and stuff. So,
like, holy crap. Like, oh, he's free.
Yeah, it looks great. Free. Yeah. And like, oh no. So she's still alive. She jumps on him or whatever. And he grabs a ceramic pig and punches her in the face once or something and starts going back into the bedroom. She comes after him, and he basically grabs his pant leg and, like, swings his leg at her because his legs are all fucked up. He hardly feels them, right? So he trips her with it, and that sound.
Oh, in the corner.
Her head hits the corner of the metal typewriter, and she's like, that sound. I'm like, okay, well, she's definitely dead now.
But how fucking appropriate that she was hit in the face with a metal pig. Mm-hmm. With misery. She got hit in the face. That's
what I wrote down. He killed her with misery.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, it's awesome. And but then she finally trips on it and dies. So there you go. It's a good fight and very tense. And the first time I saw it was only 4.5, 5 years ago. So I remembered it pretty well. But it's still like, oh my God, it's very intense.
It's a good fight scene.
Yeah. And then cuts to 18 months later, and he's fine. He's with his agent again, and
got a limp.
Yeah, got a limp, but cool cane. He's doing well, and he goes to lunch with his agent at a fancy restaurant. And his new book, which they don't really say what it is. I don't know if it's the same manuscript he started writing that she set on fire, the one she didn't like with the swearing, or if it's a new story. But it's getting good reviews and stuff, is what the agent's telling him. And then she's like, "Would you want to write like a nonfiction book about what happened to you with Annie Wilkes?" He says, "If I didn't know you better, I'd say you were trying to get me to use one of the most horrible things that's ever happened to me to make some money."
Like, we want to know what actually happened in that cabin. So I'm like, damn, he hasn't really told anybody what went on in there.
He's probably only said, like, look, she didn't give me HJs, okay? But I'm not going to say anything else. Just know there's no HJs. She's still talking to him, and he looks up and sees Annie with the dessert cart.
Yeah, because he's like, sometimes I think I see her. Oh.
Yeah, and then there she is. And then, of course, it's not really her. And it's this woman who works at the restaurant, and she's cutting the cake. And what does she do? What does she say to him?
Oh, are you Paul Sheldon? I'm your number one fan.
Yeah. He's like, and the movie ends. What a great ending,
Genius.
So, PTSD, yes. And he's hallucinating now sometimes, too, apparently. And so he has these, what I wrote down is cart-induced traumatic hallucinations. So now he'll probably have a problem with dessert trays at fancy restaurants, obviously. Yeah. He can't go to eat dim sum, right? Because dim sum's on a cart. Oh. He probably will have issues on the airplane when they have a little cart with drink service.
He can't have pork. He can't have Spam.
He can't have Spam. He might not drink wine anymore.
No.
He can't just house a bunch of pills anymore.
And you know what? He does say, despite everything, Ann Wilkes inspired me. Mm-hmm. Despite everything.
Yeah. Well, and that happens a lot with things. It's always nice when somebody can pull goodness out of something horrible, Mm-hmm. So what I always tell people, I met the whitest kids on 9/11. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I had a bad marriage, but I got my wonderful daughter out of it. It's important to, like, look at that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So And, I was trapped with this woman who refused to give me HJs, and then I killed her and got a good book out of it, So.
Could you imagine if there was a shot in this movie where Paul opens his eyes and she's like sitting on top of him naked?
And we know Kathy Bates wouldn't have a problem with that. She did a nude sing 20 years later.
Yeah.
Or 15 or something.
And she's just going, "Oh, Paul.
Oh, God.
Oh, Paul."
Yeah. Yeah.
It would have been too much. It just would have been too much for this.
But it's a great movie. And obviously, like I said, I like that me and Shandi kind of had perhaps a more interesting angle on it because of our experiences with having fans. Mm-hmm. But I think the moral of the story is like, just fucking chill out, bro. You know what I mean?
And also, I've had fans that have become friends.
Yeah, me too. Tons of them.
You know? So it's just because a lot of times I become fans of people because I relate to something on either something that I like, cats or horror movies or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I'll reach out to them or I'll comment on something, and then they may or may not respond, and then we just kind of become friends. And that's just like how you become friends naturally anyways with anything else. Yeah. It's just cool, but they're not like sending me creepy ass shit.
No, they're like normal people. And that's what most of the fans are like. Most of the fans of Whitest Kids, because we are like, we didn't even know this, but we are apparently somewhat unique in how much we interact with our fans. Like, respond to them. We're on the Reddit. We're on Twitter. We're on this. We're paying attention. We talk to them. We read the chat in Twitch, and they're like, "You guys read the chat?" Like, oh,
yeah.
There's people that don't.
Everything. I respond to. I try to respond to everybody.
Sure.
Sometimes it gets lost.
Yeah,
some messages will get lost, but I try to respond to everybody because they took the time.
Yeah.
To say something. I find that very fucking cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. And, and if I have accidentally taken a long time for whatever reason, I always say like, sorry, I'm bad at this. And they don't care. Because what do they always say, even if it's 6 months or 2 years later?
Oh my God, I can't believe you responded.
Yeah. And so they're just happy, that's great,
Because that's how I feel when I'm fanning, girling on somebody, and then they respond. I just literally treat people the way that I like to be treated as a fan.
That is the golden rule, Shandi, and that should be in every life. And my daughter will tell you, I've hammered that into her head over time, where now it's like not really hammered people. I'm talking about talking. I'm not. I never hobble anybody at home.
I don't know. I put her head between a 4x4.
Yeah, Jesus. So if I ask her right now, I'd be like, "How should we treat people?" The way you want to be treated. But it's true.
She's rolling her eyes.
Yeah, probably, but no, I mean, she likes that. She understands that. But no, there's times where she was doing something that wasn't good, and so I'll bring that up, and she's like, yeah, so, don't do that. But yeah, with the whole fan thing too about the being friends, I've become internet friends with a great number of Whitest Kids fans, and even in real life, there's a couple that I've become friends with, and maybe become even real life friends with in different reasons. In different ways. So there's some that I become good enough friends with on the internet. Like, this guy and his wife were on a road trip and stopped in Watertown, and we met up somewhere,
Yeah.
And I didn't bring him to my house, but I was not at all worried about that. But you still we'll just go out and
if a fan is like, I'll be in Brooklyn or whatever, and I'll be like, well, if I'm available and around, it's like, but sometimes I think fans forget that we have jobs.
Yeah, we're regular people.
You're on vacation. I'm not. So I can't just drop everything.
That's a great point.
You just told me you're coming next week.
Yeah.
I can't drop everything to come meet you.
But here's a way that I've become friends with the fans is so many of them turn out to be cool. Like I said, 99% of fans are cool. And people are like, well, so what does that? I'm like, well, here's the thing is Whitest Kids is what you call a cult classic show. I'm not coming up with that. People have told me that, and it makes sense because it was never huge, but it's still got a very dedicated fan base, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a very particular, crazy sense of humor. And one of our rules when we were writing sketches was we all 5 need to be laughing at this. So it has to be something that we all find funny, right? Mm-hmm. So then we make the TV show, whatever. So in my mind, someone else that loves that sense of humor, well, I have something in common with them right there.
Yep, already.
We're already fucked up in the same way, so we'll probably get along. You know what I mean? Anyways, hey, throw out the socials there, my friend.
Please join us on our social medias, mostly Instagram. Earnful of Popcorn. That's URNFULLA Popcorn. We're on Spotify, the YouTubes, the Tubes, Apple Podcasts, the Apples. And you can also listen to our episodes on our website, earnfulofpopcorn.com. Join our Patreon. It's cheap. It's $2.99. We have 15 members. Woo, 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 woo.
Stuff is coming.
Stuff is coming.
I'll do I'll do a movie review here soon, and I'm sure we'll do another fistful of popcorn soon.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna upload some of my notes from some of the episodes because I draw little drawings too.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's cute.
I didn't say this in the episode, but she was wearing her very comfy murder loafers. They were very comfy, so I drew a loafer. With it standing on a pile of blood with a bloody knife next to it.
Oh, I like that. And Shandy's a good drawer.
A drawer. We also all talk about like new movies that are coming out, and it's just kind of like doing a Discord. Like it's all people of the same ilk, just talking about horror movies, and we all chat to each other. So it's fun.
It's a good little community. And
we have merch. We have shirts, and we have stickers and buttons and things like that. So if you want to like be a diehard Earnful of Popcorn fan, you can do that if you want. We don't care if you do or not. We don't make money on that shit.
No, we just do this because we're too stupid not to. Thank you to Jordan Cooper, who was on the last episode, which will be out by the time you hear this one. And he also wrote our theme song. And thank you to Shandy Sullivan for doing the graphic design. And hey, what's the guy's name? The animator.
Oh, because I don't know if that's going to be ready by the time we put this out. So,
well, can we say we have an animated thing coming?
I guess we can. Yeah, we spent some money because I saw this stop motion animation video, and he was saying that he was taking commissions, and I went, that would be so cool to do something for Earnful of Popcorn. And so I just reached out to him. I'm a fan of this person, and I said, I like your work. Would you be interested? And he was like, well, let me check out your podcast, like see if it's something I'd like be interested in doing.
And he said no, and Shandy tied him up and hit him in the feet with a hammer, and then he did it. So,
but he was like, oh, this is cool. Oh, horror movies, hell yeah. Just tell me what you're thinking. So we're gonna have some stop motion animation for the podcast theme, which would be really cool. It's gonna go along with Jordan's theme song. The guy's name's Trevor LeGarrette. Hopefully I said that right. Trevor, you're awesome. It looked great. It looked fucking dope. I'm not going to say what it is though, but it'll be really fun to see. I'm excited to see it when it's finished.
Yeah.
It's going to be dope. It's going to feel like this is official, even though we've been doing this for almost 2 years.
Yeah. Only a little over one. We didn't start until summer of 24.
When did we do, like July or
July,
June or
August
something?
of 24. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, not even.
Because I hung out with you in June because I was in town for that thing,
that's right.
And then a week or two later, you're like, "We should do this." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
So it's been a year.
Right. Yay! Yay! Okay, sorry.
Was there anything else you wanted to say?
God, I don't know. There's ways to be a good fan, and good people who are in the public light will appreciate their fans, and they will appreciate fans that do things the right way. And I know Shandy and I are both like that. And you know who Neil Hamburger is? The comedian. Hamburger. Yeah, he's like a fake comedian that Greg Turkington plays. Greg Turkington was on some stuff with Tim Heidecker and stuff. Anyways, so he plays this funny fake comedian, Neil Hamburger, and I opened for Neil once, and we were talking before the show, and I'm not going to talk shit on anyone specifically, but Neil told me, well, Greg, the real person, told me that there is a very famous metal singer who is shitty to his fans. And I think this is a good way to wrap this all up about appreciating your fans is like, I get to do stuff because of fans. Even though you and I both have jobs, and like you get to still do stuff because you have fans. You know, every once in a while something comes up that wouldn't come down the pike otherwise, you know? And it's good to appreciate that. But on the flip side, don't be fucking weird to us or I'll kill you with a typewriter. So there you go.